Welcome to Bari Chats with Nina
and Pam
of Bari-Bestiez.
No sugarcoating here. We are talking bariatric life in all its realness.
The wins,
Setbacks,
food noise,
grief,
regain,
self-care,
nutrition,
movement,
motivation,
and mindset.
So if you are ready for honest, empowering conversations, you are in the right place.
We are serving straight up truth about our experience as bariatric patients.
So grab your water, your courage, and remember,
we are stronger together.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
It's
How
been
about
a
yourself?
while.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think this is the longest we've gone without seeing each other in
Yeah.
a long time.
So I'm just going to jump right in today.
Okay, I'm good.
Let me tell you about something that happened at work. So I was, usually we jump quickly, especially when it's something about weight when we're defending someone.
Yeah.
So I was at work and someone came in and they were talking about how they had joined a women's walking group. They were trying to lose the baby weight, and they meet 3 days a week where they walk. And when she walked out, there was someone else behind her, and that person made the comment. Well, I hate to tell her that she's going to have to do a whole lot more than just walk to lose fat. It's more about nutrition and what you put in your body than walking. We walk every day of our life. That's how we get around. You're not going to lose weight by walking. And
I'm just
because I was in the workspace, I didn't say a word. Me being a bariatric patient and a bariatric advocate and supporter of men and women on a journey, regardless if it's a surgery or just a weight loss journey.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say anything. And then I thought, the person who walked out going to that walking group is who I need to talk to and show her my befores and afters and support her and cheer her on and let her know, hey, I love what you're doing. Thank you for choosing yourself. The person who made the comment, that's not, usually I would address it. I would be furious. She doesn't deserve my time.
No, because she's already decided in her mind. And, if she's not been in the shoes of someone who's overweight, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
They don't actually know. They've never done the research. Yes. Does it take more than just walking? Of course.
Yes.
But support the person, cheer them on.
Yes.
This is the first step this person's taking
You
towards
start
their
somewhere.
health. Right, exactly.
We started with walking.
Yes. I mean, the 5Ks is what got us going.
Yes. That's how we met.
You wouldn't have
That's
the
how Bari-Bestiez started.
Exactly.
Wow. So, yeah, it was just so eye-opening, I thought. Inside, I was fuming.
Oh, I'm sure. And being in the workplace,
but I was also
careful.
very emotional. I was fighting the tears back because she walked out feeling so confident and so proud of herself.
And behind her back, somebody's stabbing it, trying to poke a hole in it.
You know me, I'm like,
yeah.
I wanted to do that, but
So my thing is, people can poke hole in everything. They poke hole in bariatric. Oh, you're going to gain your weight back. You're going to fail. Blah blah blah. GLP-1s. Oh, it's a drug. It's not natural. People that are just trying to lose it using Weight Watchers or whatever else.
Well, they used to do that about Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem. You're just going to gain it back. Maybe. If you don't learn if you don't use the tools and if you're not given the right tools to begin with, and if you don't follow through, yes.
So I think a lot of the weight loss programs give you a tool. The problem is they don't teach you how to keep that tool working for you long after. How to use it. Yes. How to use it, but how to maintain it. Because I think that's where I got messed up. Dr. Halme goes, you're in maintenance. That was almost the worst thing he could say because he based it upon what my goal was. Yeah. My maintenance level was, he said, when you reach your goal, you're in maintenance. Well, I've reached my goal.
I just keep dancing around my goal.
That's okay. I mean, and a lot of people
you're down, you're up, you're down.
But the person that you were talking with and who was very excited, the thing is she was excited.
She was.
She's making an impact on her life. She's choosing her. And this other person had to be the negative Nelly and be like, well, no. And my thing is, why not say, I think this is great. maybe talk to her for the next
Yeah.
couple of weeks. This is great. How are you doing? Are you able to do it 3 times a week? What are you changing? And at some point, talk about diet, but not right off the bat. Give her the encouragement.
If movement is what you have right now, go for it.
And see, that's the thing. I'm the opposite. Movement was the least for me. So to me, I'm like, let me lose the weight. And then I picked my movement because I had
Yeah.
so many joint pains and everything. So she's trying to lose baby weight. If you don't mind me asking, how old's her child that she had? Probably.
Because we are on a podcast, I'm trying not to say.
Oh, I was just saying
to
approximate.
protect her
Sure.
identity.
Yes, of course. I was just kind of saying,
Amen.
because if you, that's all good. The reason I was just kind of curious is because she has made a choice to make herself better.
Mhm.
And for anybody, regardless if you're doing it on social media, if you're doing it behind somebody's back, whatever,
Yeah.
be proud that somebody's trying. I don't care if you don't like them or don't know them. Why tear them down when that's the thing about the society nowadays. People are so quick to tear people down instead of saying, I'm proud of you for making that choice
Yes.
and supporting them.
And I've seen these women like interact with each other.
Oh, so that it's not like they didn't know each
It's
other
not
either.
a friendship, but it's like
Acquaintances.
Yeah.
Wow. Stab it in the back, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So what would you do the next time you see the one who went for the walk?
Honestly, I've already addressed it once.
Oh.
I think it was maybe the next morning. I said, "Hey, I overheard you talking about, joining the walking group
Mhm.
the other day. I think that's awesome. And how'd it go? I know you said it was your first time. How's it going?" And she shared with me. She was excited. And so I was able to tell her about how my journey started,
Mhm.
and I didn't go straight into, I'm a bariatric patient,
Mhm.
I've had surgery. I went into, you know, 4 years ago, I was on a weight loss journey myself. And my first step out of that was walking.
Mhm.
And I remember when I first started, I could barely walk to the end of my driveway and back.
And you don't have a long driveway.
No,
Mm-mm.
not at all. And then I told her how I would walk after dinner.
Mhm.
And, it started out to where I could walk to the end of my road and back, which was, I'm the fifth house from the main road.
Mhm.
And then it got to where I was walking the entire cul-de-sac, and I was venturing over into other neighborhoods. And then the 5K where you and I met.
Mhm.
She now knows that I'm a bariatric patient.
Mhm.
And that's something she has not thought about, but has been something that her doctor in the past has brought up even before she had a child.
Okay.
So I did share that part with her. I didn't push it because I don't push the bariatric
No.
surgery on
Mm-mm,
anyone,
no one.
but I did let her know that what she was doing was good for herself,
Mhm.
and also shared with her that, I'm always looking for new ways of creating something new for my palate. Sometimes I see something that I really want and I know my body can't handle it, but I figure out the bariatric way.
Mhm.
And I told her, so, the bariatric way works for anyone.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
matter.
protein and low sugar and low carb, which is what any weight loss journey needs.
Mhm.
So she was interested.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
And I told her about Bari-Bestiez, and I told her about the page, I told her about the private group. So she said that she was going to look us up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, the thing is that even though we're bariatric patients, we can help impact or help other people along because what we're dealing with, other than the surgery itself, everything else is the same.
Yeah.
The surgery is
If
the only
we
difference.
always say, if we had known 10 years, 20 years ago what we know today about
Oh my
nutrition,
God.
would we have needed bariatric surgery? Who knows? Maybe we still would have.
Right.
Maybe we wouldn't have.
And it just depends because, when we were talking to Shay the last time,
Mhm.
she had done all the things.
Yeah.
So I think it also depends on the individual.
Yeah.
Some people just can't lose weight. I had insatiable appetite. I never felt full.
Yeah.
I never had that full feeling. Well, now I get full and I can't barely walk
Mhm.
after I get full. But I think regardless of what journey you're on, GLP-1s, bariatric surgery, natural weight loss, just incorporating exercise, it all works. You just have to put in the effort. And to have somebody immediately go negative on that
Mm.
person just
I'm
irritates the
just
fuck
glad
out of me.
she did not hear it
Yes.
herself. Or not. And that says a lot about the other person, is the fact that she waited until she left. She didn't chime in and cheer her on or ask any questions so she could get a little more information.
Mhm.
She just immediately went in for the dig at the minute she left. And that was ugly.
It
And it hurt
is.
my heart for
It
her.
is. And I just feel like people nowadays, it's all about, can't think of the right word, but they don't care about other people.
There's no empathy in this
None.
world.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for,
And
empathy.
as women, we're supposed to be building each other up and not tearing each other down. And I also think that has a lot to do with our generation.
It does.
We watched that happen. The women in our generation used to tear each other down.
Oh,
High school was brutal.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Horrible.
I remember in high school, I was 120 pounds and wore a size 5. I think the largest I ever was a size 7. And
And I was the opposite.
I was told that I was fat sometimes, and I was made fun of. I always had, the big boobs, and for some reason that was not okay.
I know, right?
They would make fun of it.
I did too. You've got Charmin, show me your boobs. They're fake. You've been stuffing your bra, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
yeah,
nowadays they'd be in jail for the stuff that they
it's
do.
crazy. But, I think about how the girls then used to tear each other down.
Mhm.
And some of those girls are now grown women and still doing
And
that.
still
But
tearing them
now
down.
you've got this new generation coming up, and they're not really, I guess they are tearing each other down, but it's a different way. Like they everybody's comparing each
It's a
other. Yeah, it's
comparison.
a comparison. And it's on social media, and before it was on the schoolyard or face to
Mhm.
face,
And now it's just keyboard warriors,
it's
as they like.
everywhere.
And
You don't even know who's tearing you down.
right. So, that's actually what you are talking about actually happens a lot in the bariatric side too. And what I mean by that is we constantly hear certain things that just, I don't know, guys, about you, but when I hear somebody says, well, you're going to fail, everybody I know has failed.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say that to someone who's starting any journey? So, what are some other things as a bariatric patient or as anyone on a weight loss journey that may tear us down, may make us rethink our focus on ourselves? I think that that's maybe something we should talk about.
Was that I remember when I first started talking about that I was having surgery or that I just had surgery. I remember one of the girls at work in my old job said, "Did you ever try losing it on your own? Did you ever join a gym, or what did you do, or did you just immediately go to having surgery?"
And what was your response?
And of course, I don't remember word for word, but I did, I was less educated about bariatric surgery at that point, but I did share with them, first off, I'm in my 50s. I wasn't always overweight, and I struggled for 20 plus years of weight loss and weight gain and back and forth. And I said, I've done it all. Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, even weight loss medication monitored by a doctor. And I would lose 75 to 100 pounds, and I would gain it back. And
plus some sometimes.
Yeah, plus some. Each time we got heavier. But I also had granted, I don't have it now because I did lose the weight, but at that point I had high blood pressure. At one point I'd had a stroke. I had I was what's the other medications? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Cholesterol medication.
cholesterol. I couldn't remember if you had
I was
cholesterol.
pre-diabetic. So I was a prime candidate for the surgery. And at 51, 52,
Yeah.
what was that, 52?
Yeah, because
52, yes.
Yeah, because that's what I am now.
I wanted to have it.
And with mine, I was 48 when I had mine, and I've had people say the same thing. What have you done before going to this? Why did you decide that bariatric surgery was right for you? What made you make that
Yeah.
final decision to alter your body?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, my
that's another
body.
thing. You're altering your body.
I know.
People get boob jobs all the time and get lip
lip and-
injections and nose. They get they reshape their nose
I know.
and they color their hair
Mhm.
and
They get their nails done.
pierce parts of their body. What?
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, and why do I need to explain it?
Exactly.
Why
So
do we explain why we did something for our own health?
I am so glad you said that, because that's what I was trying to get to. People that are on GLP-1s right now. I'm on a GLP-1. I have issues with food noise, and I was starting to get to the point where I had an insatiable appetite again. And Dr. Hami and I had a discussion, and I actually went to him. I didn't go to any, as his assistants gave me that, but I'm like, I want to talk to the doctor.
Yes.
I'm one of those people that I appreciate the PAs. I think they do an amazing job. They're great bedside manner, very helpful, but sometimes you want to talk to the source.
Yes.
And so I scheduled that. I got in there with him and I said, listen, I said, I constantly hear these negative things about GLP-1s, about, how it's bad. My son even has a negative idea about it. His father-in-law is on now Ozempic. His stepdad is now on Mounjaro, and his mom is on Wegovy. But it's because, again, it's educating people out there. And I think that is exactly why people don't know how to respond. They're like, oh, you're doing it the easy way. Honey, if I have reached 350 pounds, there's no easy way to lose the weight.
Yeah.
If I'm getting assistance to lose weight that gets me healthy, gets me from taking all these medications, from having to see the doctors all the time, to heal my body and my mind and my soul, to be honest, why does it matter to you what I did to lose the weight? Why do you think you have the right to have any influence on what I've done? That's what I want to know. Why people think they have that ability. Do you hear my passion right now? It's like kind of kicking in, because I've had it happen.
Yeah, because we don't, if someone says they're having any other medical procedure, you don't sit and ask why. It's not your business.
I'm sorry, you had plastics? Why?
Yeah. Or even, why did you have a colonoscopy?
Right? I got rid of the cancer. That's why.
Why'd you go to gynecologist? Why?
My hoo-ha stunk. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just being silly. But truly, to be honest, why is weight loss why does everybody have to have an
sorry,
input?
you went on birth control? Couldn't you just not have sex?
Nowadays, it wouldn't be a problem. Back then, yeah. But now in menopause, I don't want to have sex. Sorry, honey.
Oh, my goodness.
But true. I mean, this is a discussion. We hope you guys will join in below and give us some comments. What are some things you've heard? Because I'll be honest, this is the only subject, weight loss, where people have a true passion who have never have been overweight. They've never been overweight. Why do they even have input? I don't want to learn how to lose weight from somebody who hasn't had to lose weight.
There you go.
And that's my thing. Unless you've been in the shoes. So the one thing I do like about our surgical office, every person in there, except for the doctor himself, has either have been overweight. They've lost it either through GLP-1s, natural weight loss, bariatric surgery. His entire staff is full of people who have had to lose weight so that they can understand where we come from.
As well as all of the other, our bariatric community.
Yes.
Everyone we follow and everyone that we support and they support us, they're all connected to the same lifestyle we've had to go
Exactly.
through.
And that's why we say, as a Bari-Besties, we try to explain that bariatric is not the surgery. Bariatric is the weight loss.
It's the process.
It's the process of losing weight.
It's the lifestyle.
And it's shrinking your stomach. I mean, to ultimately, that's what you're trying to get to. Because when you shrink your stomach, and yes, you can do it naturally, but those of us that had gotten so large, it would have been a lot harder. Now, could it be done without surgery? Yes, but it would have taken more than, I did not have what they call willpower to deal with it. I had done it all. I had done it all. I've done every way. I've done the injections, and this was before GLP-1s, but I'm talking like the B12 injections. I've done all the weight loss. I did medications. I did medications that caused me to have heart palpitations, but I was so willing to deal with that.
Was it phentermine, right?
Yeah, I did phentermine.
Those made me very jittery.
Yeah, I remember when You did that
I was doing
after.
kickboxing.
Yes. And oh my gosh, I was with her when she did that. So if I'm going to choose between surgery and possibly heart attack because I'm taking medications that are going to cause a heart attack because my body reacts, and again, not every person reacts the same way. My body is caffeine sensitive nowadays. Um, I'm going to choose the surgery. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I was out for 2 weeks and back to work, and it changed my life.
Me too.
It saved my life because if I look back at 4 years ago, and I think you probably have the same thing, I was heading to my grave,
Oh yeah, I
not
wouldn't
to
be here
retirement.
today.
I
I might have lived another 2 years, maybe. I
I
was not on a good journey.
no, and I wasn't either, and that was the thing. They said, "You're gonna make it to the grave before you make it to retirement."
I
That's
think
what
I
they
would be
told me.
bedridden by now if I was even still here.
How does that make you feel right now? I saw your
S-
face change when you said that.
Scared. It
Why does it
it
scare you?
just it kind of nauseated me.
I saw your
Uh,
whole body change.
um,
I think that's a good.
because I had so much life left in me, I didn't even realize how much life was left in me. And the thoughts of leaving my boys and Randy and that at that time, my mom and dad and my
Mhm.
sisters and just not being here.
And you might not
And
have been here for Leo.
yes, oh, and I wouldn't even know, like Leo wouldn't know me.
Right.
He wouldn't have either
And
grandparent.
look at the impact that you've had, the positive impact. Not only have you had on the bariatric community, you have made a huge impact on our bariatric community. Think about the people that you daily help within our Facebook group.
True.
I see the posts that you respond to,
Yeah.
and I'm always hearting them because I'm like, there's my girl.
Yeah.
That's her. She's
Yeah.
passionate about helping others.
Like you can lose a large amount of weight
Yes.
through the sleeve.
Oh, we love to hear well, why'd you do the sleeve versus the bypass? Now what I know because of my issues, but not every person gets them.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys will, the post that's going out for this Tuesday is talking about why I'm going to be possibly having an RNY. Not every person has to have an RNY
Yeah.
that has the sleeve. There is a small percentage of people that have reactions, their body goes through things. But I don't care if you had surgery, if you're doing it natural, if you're using a program, if you're using a pill, if you're using an injection. If it helps you live longer and live a better quality of life,
Mhm.
why does it matter what anyone else says about it? And that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm like, you were talking about people asking why. I'm okay with answering the why because I want people to understand what I went through.
As long as they're respectful, there's
Yes,
the difference.
that's the key. Be
Are
respectful.
you curious because you want to learn more, you want educated,
Or are you
or
being
are
an
you
arse?
waiting how you can attack me?
And that's why do people do that these days? I swear, I feel like I'm becoming a shrink. And I say that in the most positive way because I feel like I'm having are you fighting a battle that you just need to rain on somebody else's parade to make them feel bad so that you don't feel so bad about your
And
life?
a lot of times that
And I
happens.
know.
And when someone has watched you, that's another thing. I noticed the people who seen me at my worst, while I was over 300 pounds and struggling and, surviving a stroke and working through that nonsense. Um, some of those people, it was almost like they were angry when
Yes.
they seen me succeeding, when I had the surgery and I lost weight and I was getting healthy
But
and I
also you got
was doing
happy.
things and I got happy.
And
I
people
was no
don't
longer
realize
miserable.
you're miserable. When you're at that weight, it is hard to walk. It is hard to breathe. It is hard to
Everything
function.
hurts.
And I was afraid. I stayed in a job for 20 years that I hated because I was overweight and I was afraid to try to interview because people saw you first back then. Now they do things online, so it's a little easier to get past that
Yeah.
first impression situation. But when people I always thought pre bariatric surgery, pre success, that if someone saw me, they would not see past my inability to
Yeah.
lose weight.
Oh, I always felt that way too. And I was always self-conscious of my surroundings because I wasn't looking at like if I was in a store or if I was visiting a new place, I wasn't enjoying what was going on around me.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for who was going to judge me. Did you ever do that? Like,
Yeah.
you walk
You
in,
kind of
like,
look,
when you're
you're
walking
eyeballing
like,
people.
when you're walking in a restaurant and they're walking you back to your
Oh,
table,
you're looking at it.
you're looking at other people. Are they looking at me? It's like, and at that size, it's not like you could not look at me,
Right.
not see me.
Or I accidentally bump into somebody with my hip back
Oh my
then. Oh
goodness,
my gosh.
yes.
It was like they'd go, ew, and it's heartbreaking. And for those of you, and I know you're probably not listening to this podcast because it doesn't apply to you, but those that never went through it don't understand it. So, guys, the one thing that the Bari-Bestiez understands is we've been there. And that's why, we follow people who have been in it, who have dealt with it, because I feel like people who haven't just don't
Yeah,
understand.
and the journey doesn't end just because you lose the weight.
Right.
If you lose everything you wanted to lose, that journey doesn't stop. I'm a bariatric patient the rest of my life.
Yes.
I have to eat like a bariatric patient. I have to take the supplements
Mhm.
because I'm a bariatric patient. I need that movement in my life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of mental health,
Absolutely.
with this journey that you have to tend to and you have to be aware of. You have to seek the proper medical care,
Mhm.
whether it's with your mental health, your physical health, nutrition. There's so much involved. You have to be dedicated.
You do. And the ones that have failed in the past didn't have access to that or didn't
Right.
know
They
about
didn't
it.
have the knowledge of it, or they didn't support bariatric patients back then. You had the
Right.
surgery and bye.
Bye.
Just like if you went and had a mole removed,
Right.
they didn't follow up with you. They didn't tell you what to do.
Right. And you and I both know people who had surgery 20 years ago. It is such a different
Mm-hmm.
community now. There was no
Right.
community back then.
No.
It was,
They made you before they had to be ashamed.
yes,
They didn't talk
they
about
didn't
it. They
talk
didn't
about it.
share that they
Mm-mm.
had bariatric surgery and that they lost 100+ pounds, and this is what they have to do to live their life now. There was no conversations.
None. And I mean, even restaurants, eating a child's meal instead, yes, I know I can order an adult meal and eat on it for multiple days, but sometimes I just didn't want that much food. I didn't
Yeah.
want to have to eat it for multiple days. So there's some places you can go and it's not a problem. You can order from the kids menu. There's others that they want to see that card. Our hospital gave us that card. They said, hey, just in case they give you a hard time. And I actually, for the first time in 4 years since I had my surgery, had to use it. And then the manager came over and says, we don't accept this. I said, this is a medical card.
Huh.
I said, yes, I know I could order the main one. I said, and I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I'll be honest. I was not trying to be that, but I was trying to prove a point that they have a senior menu. They have a child's menu, but I'm kind of in between. I'm not quite a senior yet, but I didn't want all that food. And they gave me a hard time about it. But once I educated them, they said, wow, we didn't know that that was even a thing. Thank you for informing us. I'll make sure our wait staff understands this. And it was a kind of a new restaurant. And I think sometimes this is why we educate people, and we're not ugly about it. I was explaining, yes, would I have ordered an adult meal and ate on it for days? Yes, I would have. But we were traveling and I didn't have a place to put the food, and I
Yes.
hate to waste food. I grew up in the generation of Ethiopia had no food, and you either finished your plate or you ordered less, right? So I still try to follow not getting too much. But it's also,
Leftovers was key in
yeah,
our childhood,
yes, it was.
and it's definitely key
Oh my
on this
gosh.
journey.
My husband and I went into town yesterday, and I'm 4 years out. I've hit my goal. There are things I'd like to get better. I want to tone. You guys have heard me say that all the time because really I'm dealing with just the skin now. Okay. And by the way, think about this if somebody ever goes, ooh, because I had somebody say that to me. How do you deal with that? I said, well, here's the thing. That used to be full of fat. So I'll deal with that all day long. You know what? I think I'm going to get a tattoo of two girls swinging on a swing and just let it fly. It's a badge of courage to me because it takes a lot to walk around with this. I wore a tank top the other day. And you know me, wearing a tank top and shorts are two things that don't happen outside of my property. I've got shorts on today. You actually gave me a
You look
compliment.
good.
Thank you. But I've got cottage cheese legs. And it's not that it's fat, it's skin rippled. And
And I don't notice it
you don't notice it. Billy
at
doesn't
all.
notice it. I notice it. What was the term you said earlier? And I know we're kind of talking different subjects in here. We squirrel like we
They
always do.
should be used to it by now.
I know. If you've gotten into the 30th episode, which was just released last week, you should definitely be in. But what did you say? Going beyond the mirror? It was
Um,
something like that. Focusing beyond the mirror, like not seeing yourself, seeing
I
what
wrote
you've.
it down. Hold
Okay.
on.
So the reason I'm bringing this up, and she had a really good term for this, because we focus so much on what we see in what we see right now, we forget to look back at where we were. I would take the loose skin, the dimpled legs every day of the week than to be 344 pounds and miserable. I am a size 10 to 12. I float between size 10 and 12. I have a 5 pound up and down gain that I deal with. I'm okay with that. I will deal with that every day. I am happier. I'm healthier. I can do things. I will go out and work in the yard where I couldn't have even thought about bending over to tie my shoes before.
Battles behind the mirror.
Battles behind the mirror. That's it. Okay, so can we kind of touch on what that means a little bit? I think this is a good subject time to do that. So, battles behind the mirror to me mean I'm battling myself. I'm the one that's looking at me. You didn't see the issues that I saw. When I looked at myself in the mirror this morning, I saw the ripply, dimply
Yeah.
skin because I have it's not full anymore. Well, I'm glad it's not full. We've got the arms. We've got saggy breasts for the women. They're deflated. They're like flat pancakes that we roll up in like a sock into our bras now.
Yeah. Mine was, and I shared this on one of my posts. It was, let me read a little bit because I'll never remember. I was a mom, I was a wife, a daughter, an employee, but behind every title was a woman fighting battles no one else could see.
Mm-hmm.
My problem was it was a daily struggle to like the person staring back at me in the mirror. And I did not like that person. I spent so much energy criticizing my own self that it became difficult to see my own worth. And I still struggle with that. I look in the mirror some days and I don't like what I see. But then something that I do now that I never did before was I have moments where I look in the mirror and I feel good about what I see.
Yes.
And it's very few times that I look and I don't like what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So those are less moments. I have more moments of, hey, I like how I look today.
Mm-hmm.
Before I didn't have any of those moments.
Yes.
I constantly felt like, like we was talking about the restaurant, I always felt like people were looking at me and judging me,
Mm-hmm.
making assumptions about who I was and why I was
Yes.
overweight.
Exactly. And I think this takes us full circle to how we started this conversation is this woman was excited about her new journey, that she's trying to put herself first, that she's, taking time to work out, walk as it may. It doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're moving. And she was excited. Somebody put her down. And that's like us putting ourselves down when we see ourselves in the mirror.
But just like a keyboard warrior, the
Mhm.
person waited until she left the building. She didn't say it to her.
Yeah.
So I didn't entertain it. I didn't
glad you didn't.
respond and I caught myself.
Sometimes we have to step away. That's what we did today. So, one of the things we've been talking about is really just bringing this whole full circle that we have to help others and support others. We need to stand up for others sometimes when they can't stand up for themselves.
Yes.
But like Pam did, she knew when not to and that's what people don't understand is sometimes you don't need to open your mouth.
Yeah, it would have fed her energy.
Exactly.
And who knows, she may have come back at me and had something to say
And then that
about
would have been
my journey. And then we would have had a problem.
Yes. And the fact that you're at work, I mean, I have moments. I actually had let me give a positive one.
As
that
my
occurred.
shirt says.
Holy enough to pray for you, but hood enough to swing. And amen. We both are like that. But I had so I told you that my company actually interviewed me and did a podcast on me.
That's right.
Well, we had an opportunity to talk about my journey because they asked about what I do in my personal life. And we talked about Bari-Bestiez and, how being an advocate has really changed my life. Not only did it change my journey, I feel like it kept me on my journey
Mhm.
a lot better. But I advocate for others. And I had someone during a meeting before the meeting actually got going. He said, "I'd like to talk about your podcast that you did with our company the other day." He goes, "It really inspired me."
I love that.
And that's the other thing. Everything we do or say is going to affect somebody in some way, shape, or form.
So why not make it a positive impact?
Exactly. Not everything has
Stop
to be
being a
negative.
negative Nelly
I
and
know.
stop thinking that you have to put the other person down to make yourself feel better. If you're not feeling good enough that you feel like you have to attack someone else's growth or journey, then you really need to take a look
At yourself.
at yourself.
And
Maybe you're struggling.
maybe you're struggling, it could be stress. I mean, to be honest, you and I have been through so much stress in this past year, financial, emotional, family.
But we deal with it.
We deal with it, but we don't put it on somebody else.
Mm.
Now, we might put it on our husbands, but that's what they signed up for when they said, "I do." I mean, let's be honest. But they put it on us too. My husband comes home in a bad mood, and I'm like, "You're in a bad mood." He's like, "No, I'm not." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll just let you ride right now." But, we have the society has gotten so gung ho about having to respond. This immediate gratification
Everybody
situation.
gets an opinion.
Everyone gets an opinion, but guess what? You don't have an opinion on my journey, on
Mhm.
my life. And I think people need to stand up for themselves more.
Mhm.
Um,
And you can do it without having a knockdown, drag out
right. You can
fight.
do it by saying, "I appreciate that that's your thought, but it does not affect my journey."
I am always taking management training and
Yes,
how
me
to deal
too.
with difficult people and, how to build your team and make them successful. And one of my favorite things I ever heard one of the trainers say was when someone says something that hurts your feelings or angers you, say, you know, um, could you say that a little different? Because you made me feel, and then share how they made you feel. Could you say that a little different? Because I don't,
That works
ain't right.
at work,
Yeah.
but I can tell you based on some
Real
recent
life.
events. The one that I did, because somebody was really rude in a very public situation, and I said, "Could you say that a little louder? I don't think you realize what you just said."
I like that too.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I said, and they went,
Mm. Yeah. I've also said, wow, I bet that sounded a lot better in your head before you said
"That's a
Yeah.
good one too. I like that." But here's the thing, guys. All we were trying to say here is people are on different journeys. It's okay. You can be different. You can do different things. Nobody else has the right to make you feel less because you're on a journey, whether you're, again, bariatric, natural weight loss, GLP-1s,
Yeah.
pills, medical help, non-medical help. We don't care as long as you're healthy. And to me, that's what counts. Nobody else has a right to invade your, and I hate to say invade your happiness, because usually when you're starting a journey, you're excited about it. The moment people start second guessing what you're doing, you start second guessing
Mhm.
yourself. And I think that's where we really falter, because we haven't been on that journey long enough to stand up for ourselves, I think, a lot of times. And I think that's why a lot of us fail, is because we're letting people invade our happiness, invade our, or have an opinion on us. And that's just really how I feel. And I'm tired of people doing that.
Stop judging and
Right?
start standing up for each other.
Yes.
There are so many other journeys in this life that people are not judged on.
Right.
For some reason, weight loss, or not even just weight loss, but weight, period,
Yeah. Whether you're under,
seems
over,
to be
everyone has an opinion about
everyone
it.
gets an opinion. They
Right.
think they have a right,
You're too small. You're too
Yeah.
big. You
Whether you are overweight, a perfect size, or underweight, how does that affect my life?
Hey, what's a perfect size? There is no perfect size.
No.
There is a
Thank you.
healthy
There's
size.
another one. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a healthy size. That's why I think our doctor did a great job in the beginning, because he asked us, "What's your goal?" He didn't tell me what my goal should be. He
Yeah.
never told me what my goal. He didn't tell you what your goal should be, did he?
No.
No. And I
I'm
thought that
trying
was.
to think back. I think mine was, I don't remember giving a weight.
I never gave a weight. I
I
gave a
remember
size.
saying to him, I just want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And he liked that answer. And maybe that's what stopped him from going even further was she just wants to be healthy.
Mhm.
I'm here to help her do that. And
Yeah.
he did.
And he did. And
Very
mine
healthy.
was, I want to be healthy, but I'd like to get to a size 12.
Right.
And 12 to me was just the most average American woman size that was healthy. And that in my mind, doesn't mean that's what it was, but in my mind, that's how I saw it.
Yes.
And 12 is where I was when I was younger, and I was thinking I was overweight, but I really wasn't. I was
Yeah.
healthy.
And I never gave a size because I have been, you know, I guess you might as well say thin,
Mhm.
very small at the first part of my adult life. And so I remember the first time I felt overweight and I was disgusted with my body was when I moved into a size 12.
Mhm.
So even though a size 12 is great now, I love that number, 12, 14.
Mhm.
I still have a problem saying I want to be a size 12. I
Yeah.
want to be a size 14.
Because
Mm.
of what it meant to you
Yes,
before.
because I can't get rid of that. So now I'm just like, I want to remain healthy. I want to feel good and look good in
Mhm.
my clothing. And maybe that's a 14, maybe it's a 10.
It could be,
It
to
could
be
be a
honest,
16.
it could be a 16 or 18 to some people. I mean, we have a friend that we met. We have people that we know that were 600 pounds.
Yeah.
They're happy to be at the weight we started at. And that's the thing you have to look at is where did the person start?
And we celebrate that. We love that
We
for them.
love that. We're absolutely excited for them. And I love championing for them because
Mhm.
I feel like no matter if you lost 10 pounds and that's all you lost 10 pounds.
That's right.
I don't want to hear that I didn't lose any more. You lost 10 pounds and you kept it off. I am
Yes.
proud for that. And I think that's this, I know we keep saying society, but I just really feel like what the hell happened in the last 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
People have technology.
Mm-hmm. That's why.
To be honest, social media has, and I use social media, because they became keyboard warriors and nobody held them accountable for their words or actions. They feel it's in their right to invade your space and give you their opinion, and it's not. So if anybody is keyboard worrying you and giving you a hard time about your journey, block them. Get rid of them. They don't need to be part of your circle. My
If the
circle,
only interaction you have with them is through a screen
or
and a
it's
keyboard,
negative. Yeah,
they don't mean anything to you.
exactly. So, and that's the one thing I'm
Bye-bye.
trying, exactly. That's the one thing I'm trying to put out there is that we have lots of friends on all these social medias, but they're not really friends.
No.
My social circle is really small. My immediate friend circle, it's right here. My husband, my bestie, my son, her kids are our friends. I mean, my husband calls her kids all the time, and I'm just like, okay. But, the people that matter are the only ones you need to worry about what they say. And what I mean by that is even those, just educate them so that they understand what
Yeah.
they should or shouldn't say. Because maybe they don't know. They've never been in your situation.
Mhm.
They don't understand why it's so important that you stay on this journey. I can remember so many times, and I know I've done it to myself now, but during that first 3 years, people would be like, eat this, have that. I can't. I'm on this journey. And I was using the wrong word.
Can't.
I was using can't. Can't is not, it is I choose to be successful on my journey. I choose to make better decisions. And I don't want that because it does not feed my journey.
And in the words of my 6th grade teacher / volleyball coach, Genevieve Bowling Lily, can't never did do anything and it never will.
There you go. So guys, remember, you can do anything. If there are people not supporting you, kick them to the curb. They don't need to be part of your journey.
Move on,
Move on.
but keep moving.
I like it. Move on, but keep moving. That's a good one. So guys, thank you for today. And remember, you are worth everything that you are putting into yourself. You're worth being a priority. You are worth it.
Absolutely.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Why is ProCare Health Bari-Bestiez preferred choice for bariatric vitamins and supplements?
They are designed specifically for bariatric bodies.
They have complete daily nutrition in one easy dose.
No fillers, no junk, just quality you can trust.
Tastes great and easy to stay consistent.
Saves patients 49 to 61% on their monthly supplement costs compared to other leading brands. They believe in quality over cost.
They're backed by real results in a community that cares.
Because after surgery, your vitamins shouldn't be complicated.
Go to procarenow.com. That's PROCARENOW.com and use the code Bari-Bestiez. That's BARIBESTIEZ at checkout for 15% off your order or subscription. That's a wrap on Bari Chats. Besties, it's time to close the mic for now.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of honesty, laughter, and all things bariatric.
Through the highs, the lows, the food noise, and the NSVs.
We hope you found connection, inspiration, and maybe even an aha moment along the way.
So follow and subscribe Bari-Bestiez on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Want a behind-the-scenes up-close action? Join us on YouTube and don't miss a moment.